people have an opinion of you. You also have an opinion of yourself. And then God has an opinion of you. And all of these three levels of opinion, we can see them in today's first reading. Paul speaks a little bit about each of these opinions. He starts saying, "Thus should one regard us as a servant of Christ and stewards of the mysteries of God." Paul teaches us that what other people think about us is important, especially if we're involved in the work of evangelization and bearing witness to others. If we are a person that causes scandal, our words and our deeds obviously lose credibility. So Paul says, be mindful of what other people think about you, especially if you're involved in the work of evangelization. But then he also teaches us that it's important to be mindful of what others think about us, but not to be slaves of other people's opinions. So the second level of opinion is what you think about yourself. And what you think about yourself is decided in your conscience. Because though we can fool people into believing that we're better than we really are, we cannot deceive our conscience. Our conscience punishes us when we act against it. So first level, what people think about us, it's important. But more important than that is what we think about ourselves. And that's why the Catechism says that those people who act according to the judgment of their conscience, those are the prudent people. And that's why it is always our duty to act according to our conscience. But there's a third level. Listen to what Paul says. He says, I am not conscious of anything against me. So he's saying, I act according to my conscience. But I do not thereby stand acquitted. The one who judges me is the Lord. So he knows that there is one judgment even above the conscience of your own. And that's the conscience of God, or the judgment of God. And this means that although we're called to act according to our conscience, we are required to form our conscience and to educate our conscience so that our conscience adjusts itself to truth. And that's why one of our moral duties is to form our conscience according to truth. So brothers and sisters, number one, other people have opinion of us. And we're not meant to be slaves of other people's opinions, but we're meant to be mindful of it, especially if we're called to be apostles. More important than the conscience of others or the opinion of others is the opinion that we have of ourselves. And this is a reminder that we're meant to act according to our conscience. But the most important opinion is not the one that we hold of ourselves, but the one that God holds about us. And that's why we're called to form our conscience so that it adequates to the truth that the church offers each Catholic.